What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Sunday, May 11th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and both NBA playoff games. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that, regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day. And let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every single comment every day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Also, guys, don't forget, hit up your mom. It is Mother's Day here on May 11th. Yesterday, May 10th, a pretty solid day out there. Once again, the hot run continues. We cashed right off the bat there on the Milwaukee Tampa Bay under 9.5. That was a 3-2 Tampa Bay win, so that underplay, easy win there. We did have Cleveland plus 105, and the Phillies came to play, a 7-1 loss there for Cleveland. Suarez absolutely lights out over his 7 innings. We had the Mets minus 155. They end up losing a very close 6-5 game, so that was annoying. But we did have Derek White over 4.5 rebounds. He had 5 rebounds in that game. We will certainly take the win on that one, and we cashed both our dog of the day and our massive lock of the day once again, guys. The Reds plus 120. That was a 13-9 win. Pretty insane game out there, but when you come away with a 4-run win, shouldn't have been maybe too much of a sweat, but obviously a crazy game. We also had the Padres at minus 200. That was our massive lock of the day, and it doesn't get much bigger than a 21-0 win there for the Padres. So pretty crazy stuff there. An insane run. That brings us up to 13-4 over the last 2 days. We are on a 15-4 run to start off things here with our lock of the day plays. So pretty exciting stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into our first game of the day here on Sunday. And right out of the gates, guys, we are looking at the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Cubs come into this game 23-17 on the year. They just won game 2 of this series to even things up at 1 game apiece, but it was that 6-5 win there we were talking about, or a loss if you're looking at it from the Mets perspective. Now, the Cubs are going to be hitting the ball to Matthew Boyd, who's 3-2 this season, a 2.75 ERA. His last couple of starts have been very solid against Pittsburgh and San Francisco, giving up 2 earned runs in each start, with the Cubs winning against San Francisco and losing against Pittsburgh. So we'll see what he can do in this one. Obviously, the Cubs pretty happy with what he's done this season. The Cubs bullpen, though, on the other hand, bottom third of the majors for sure. A 4.57 bullpen ERA is not great. The offense may be getting back on track, scoring 6 runs there yesterday, but they've taken a little bit of a downturn recently. All that being said, they're still first in the majors in runs scored and third in the majors in slugging percentage. So not a lot of negatives out there for the Cubs at the plate. Now, they're taking on the Mets, who did lose game 2 of this series, but they won game 1, and they're 25-15 on the year, so I don't think they're too upset. They're giving the ball in this game to Griffin Canning, who's 5-1 to start the year, a 2.50 ERA. His last time out against the Arizona Diamondbacks, a pretty hard-hitting team, and that was at Arizona. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, only a single earned run, and was eventually a 5-4 win there for the Mets. And the Mets are 5-0 over his last 5 starts, so a lot of things, leaning in his favor. Now, the Mets bullpen is also a big deal this year. They're 6th in the majors right now, a 3.16 bullpen ERA. All looking very good. The offense is looking great. Pete Alonso cooling off here slightly, but he's still batting .322 with 9 home runs and 34 RBIs. And the Mets are 7th in their majors in runs scored, and they're top 10 in every major hitting category. So a lot of positives right there for the Mets, who are minus 130 in this game. The Cubs are plus 110. We've got a total of 8.5. The Cubs are 12-8 on the road, 11-8-1 to the over on the road. The Mets are 14-3 at home, 11-6 to the under at home. A little bit difficult to come up with an edge there on the total. I would probably lean towards the under with these 2 pitchers on the mound, but not too interested in that. I would lean more towards the Mets to figure things out in this one and get the win, but minus 130, I don't know if that's a price tag that we're in love with for this game. A matchup between 2 very good teams and 2 very good pitchers. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Braves come into this game 19-20 on the year. They just won game 2 of this series 3-2, so they'll take that, but not exactly having a dream season so far. They're going to be hitting the ball to Chris Sale, someone who certainly has not been having a dream season. He's 1-3 on the year, a 4.07 ERA. He is fresh off a very good start there against Cincinnati, and honestly, his last 4 starts have all been very reasonable. So while the guy might not be looking like Cy Young form right now, 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed, and striking out 10. Looks pretty good, and he struck out 10 batters in each of his last 2 starts. So we'll definitely take it from Chris Sale. I would assume the Atlanta Braves are fairly happy with how he's throwing the ball now. The bullpen continues to improve, a 3.63 bullpen ERA. Not a lot to complain about there. The offense, though, not looking great, guys. 20th in the majors in runs scored. They've scored 3, 2, 5, 3, 2, and 4 runs over their last few games. not lighting the world on fire. So we'll see what they can do here against the Pirates, who are 13-27 on the year. They've been having a pretty rough time, obviously. Now they're handing the ball to Carmen Molzinski, who's 1-3 this season, a 6.16 ERA. His last start, I guess he was mediocre at least against the Cardinals, but it was a 6-3 loss there for the Pirates. He went 4-2 through his innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs. They were both solo home runs, so yeah, not great. And the Pirates bullpen also, I mean, not great. I guess not a disaster, but a 4.15 bullpen ERA. Doesn't exactly fill me with optimism, and neither does this offense that scored 2, 3, 0, 1, and 3 runs over their last few games. McCutchen is leading the way for them, batting .250 on the season. They're the lowest run-scoring team in the majors right now. So, not shocked to see the Pirates here as big underdogs, despite the fact they're at home. The Braves are minus 200. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. Atlanta is 7-14 on the road, 10-9-2 to the under on the road. The Pirates 8-13 at home, 11-10 to the over at home. This is just way too tough of a spot. I don't think the Braves should be, minus 200 against really anybody right now, but I'm definitely not taking the Pirates with Molzinski on the mound. I would maybe lean towards the under slightly in this game. That can make some sense to me, and other than that, kind of a stay away spot. Hopping in here with a quick shout out to our sponsor, guys. All of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been off to a hell of a start to the season, so definitely worth your time to sign up for a premium membership over there. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see our exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in this video, because I am not the premium capper over there for MLB at Stump the Spread. You need to sign up for our email newsletter as well. It's absolutely free. All we need is your name and email address. You'll get at least one free pick. You'll get one email, at least one free pick in that email every single day. You'll often get, parlays. You'll get information on niche sports like NASCAR, golf, you name it. It's a possibility to end up in there. So definitely worth getting on that email list. And if you guys are having any trouble getting those emails, like you sign up for the list, you're not getting the emails, just check your spam folder. Fairly often the emails can end up in there. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to become a channel member. As a channel member, you'll be eligible for our members only giveaways. We're giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie or t-shirt, depending on what you want, on May 20th. And if we can get up to 70 channel members before May 20th, we're going to give away 2 items of merch. So 2 hoodies, 2 t-shirts, whatever you want, it's up to you. So definitely worth that. You can even look at it as like a $5 lottery ticket as a chance there to, possibly win some merch. But it's a pretty cool deal, and it, shows me that you're a super fan, and I really appreciate all of my channel members. It's pretty cool to see that little logo next to your name when you're down there in the comments. Also, members get early access to all of my videos, and you get your name up on screen just like you've been seeing here for the last few minutes. So now, guys, let's go ahead and jump back into these games. We've got a ton to cover, and the next one up is the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road here to take on the Washington Nationals. The Cardinals are on a little bit of a streak right now, guys. They're up to 21-19 on the year. They've won 7 in a row. They won both of the first 2 games of this series there in Washington, and things are looking good. They're going to hand the ball to Miles Michaelis, who's 1-2 this season, a 4.76 ERA. His last start was against the Pirates, and it wasn't amazing. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs allowed against the Pirates, but the Cardinals did win 6-3, so they'll take that. The bullpen situation for St. Louis, while it's not looking amazing, is trending in the right direction, a 4.19 bullpen ERA. The offense is looking good again. 4, 10, 5, 2, 6, and 5 runs over their last few games. Brendan Donovan leading the way, batting .327. Contreras hitting some home runs out there. They're 10th in runs scored this season. They're 2nd in batting average in the majors. So a lot to be happy about right now if you're a Cardinals fan. That hasn't been the norm here recently. Now, they're taking on the Nationals, who have dropped 4 straight. They're going to be handing the ball to Mackenzie Gore, who's 2-3 on the year, a 3.33 ERA. Now, his last outing, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed there against Cincinnati Reds in a 4-1 win there for Washington. So they probably feel decent about Gore on the mound, and really he hasn't had a bad start since back on the 13th against Miami. So Mackenzie Gore looking good. The Washington bullpen looking terrible, though. A 7.12 bullpen ERA is the worst in the majors. And the offense, nothing to write home about. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored, but they've scored 2, 0, 6, and 1 runs over their last few games. That's not exactly amazing. Now, they're 18th in the majors in batting average, 19th in on-base percentage, but I just am not that scared of this team at the plate. So, looking at the numbers here, we see the Cardinals at +110, the Nationals at -130. We've got a total of 8.5. The Cardinals are only 6-13 on the road, 11-7-1 to the over on the road. Washington 10-11 at home, 13-7-1 to the over at home. So I guess you got to lean towards the over in this game, given the trends of these two teams. I don't think that's a terrible play either. They got to get to 9, which is a lot, but I don't think that's impossible. I also am not hopping off the bandwagon yet, guys. Give me the Cardinals here at plus 110 with Michaelis on the mound. I know Gore's been good recently, but the Cardinals offense has been good as well, and you're going to get some at-bats against that Nationals bullpen, which is horrifyingly bad. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. We saw the Brewers take the pretty brutal 3-2 loss there in Game 2. They've lost both games this series. Each of them has been by 1 run. They're 19-21 on the year, handing the ball to Chad Patrick, who's 2-3 this season, a 3.08 ERA. He's been decent in each of his last 2 starts. He's given up 3 earned runs. That's 1 win, 1 loss there for the Brewers. And overall, though, they're only 1-4 over his last 5 starts. So that's not a great, situation. The Brewers bullpen also terrible, a 4.79 bullpen ERA. The offense struggling clearly. I mean, they've scored 2, 3, and 1 runs over their last 3 games. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, but 22nd in batting average and 27th in slugging percentage. This is not a scary offense, guys. And they're probably going to have to score here at least a little bit against the Rays, who are 18-21 on the year. Not exactly like they've been killing it, but they're hitting the ball in this one to Drew Rasmussen, another one of my lookalikes. Shout out to a red bearded pitcher there in the MLB. He's 1-3 on the year, a 3.09 ERA. His last couple of starts, very similar to what we were seeing from Chad Patrick, guys. He's given up 3 earned runs in each of them. However, both of those have been losses there for the Tampa Bay Rays, so we'll see what happens here. The Rays bullpen at least is very solid. A 3.26 bullpen ERA has them 7th in the majors right now. This offense is nothing to write home about, though. I mean, they've scored 3, 4, 6, 0, and 4 runs over their last few. Arnada is hitting the ball pretty well, but they're 22nd in the majors in runs scored and 24th in slugging percentage. So once again, not an offense that is very scary. So looking at the numbers here, the Brewers are plus 120. The Rays are minus 140. We've got a total of 8.5. Milwaukee 7-14 on the road, so not great. 11-8-2 to the under on the road. Tampa Bay 11-16 at home, 14-11-2 to the under at home. With 2 offenses that suck this bad, I'm going to lean towards under 8.5. I think that's pretty reasonable in this game. If you enjoyed cashing the under in this series there in Game 2, slam that like button. Those likes are much appreciated, guys. And I think we could see an under in this one as well. If you're begging me for a side, I think we're going to go here just slightly towards the Brewers to avoid losing 3 in a row. And you're getting plus 120, so that's reasonable, but that's not a play that's going in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers. The Rangers come into this game 19-21 on the year, but they did win Game 2 of this series 10-3 in a pretty crazy offensive explosion there. Seager hitting 2 home runs in that game, kind of nuts. The Rangers handing the ball in this one to Nathan Eovaldi, who's 3-2, a 2.03 ERA. Fresh off of another very good start, and honestly, his last 3 starts have been pretty crazy. He's only given up a total of 2 earned runs over those 3 starts, and that's at the Giants, at home against the Athletics, and then at the Boston Red Sox. And we see the Rangers have won 3 out of his last 4 outings. So, yeah, he's throwing the ball pretty well. No doubt about that. The Rangers bullpen, however, not amazing. Right around MLB average with a 3.95 bullpen ERA. The offense, obviously fresh off scoring 10 runs, is nice, but this is one of the weaker offensive units in the entirety of Major League Baseball. They're 28th in the majors in runs scored. They're also 28th in the majors in on-base percentage, getting on base at a 287 clip. That's kind of embarrassing. So we'll see what they do here against the Tigers, who did just lose their last game, obviously, but they've been playing great. They're 26-14 on the year. They're handing the ball to young Reese Olson, who is 4-2 this season, a 3.03 ERA. He has been lights out in 3 out of his last 4 starts. He did have a little bit of a hiccup there against Houston, but we also see that Detroit is 4-1 over his last 5 starts, and it's not looking fluky. Bro is just out there absolutely dealing. So you love that journey for the young guy. Bullpen's been fantastic. Second best bullpen in the majors, a 2.62 bullpen ERA. And the offense has taken a huge leap forward this year. I mean, they're 4th in the majors in runs scored. They are 6th in slugging percentage. Like, this team, kind of scary at the plate. I mean, Kerry Carpenter hitting the ball well. Torkelson hitting the ball really well. Like, a lot of positives here for this offense. So, looking at the numbers, we see the Rangers at plus 100, the Tigers at minus 120. We've got a total of 7.5. The Rangers only 7-13 on the road. 11-9 to the under on the road. Detroit 14-4 at home, 11-5-2 to the under at home. Guys, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Tigers at minus 120. I wouldn't be mad at you if you want to take the under, given what we've seen from these 2 pitchers, but the Rangers bullpen scares me a little bit. I think we see a big letdown game there from the Rangers at the plate, so definitely give me Detroit at home in this one. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Boston Red Sox. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Kansas City Royals. The Red Sox got the 10-1 win there in Game 2 of this series, so pretty solid stuff. Snaps that 7-game winning streak there for the Royals. The Red Sox are hitting the ball in this one to Lucas Giolito, who's 0-1 this year and an 8.38 ERA. Now, his second start, not looking so hot. 3 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, and that's against the Rangers. Not exactly a team known for lighting it up at the plate this season. The bullpen situation for Boston this year is improving. A 3.65 bullpen ERA looks good. Not nearly as good as the Royals, though, so we'll see if that comes into play too much in this one. The offense coming alive for 10 runs has to feel good. They've floundered a little bit recently, but over the course of the year, they've obviously been very, very good at the plate, convincingly looking like a top 10 offense. So we'll see that carries over here against the Royals, who are 24-17 on the year, obviously just having their winning streak there snapped. They're going to be handing the ball to Seth Lugo, who is 3-3 on the year, a 2.84 ERA. Now, his last start was against the White Sox. He was pretty good out there. Overall, we loved what we've seen from him, especially in his last 3 outings. All very good stuff. Now, he hasn't gone up against the Red Sox this season, obviously, but I think we can safely expect to see good stuff from Seth Lugo. Seems like he's rounding into form a little bit, and that Royals bullpen is the 5th best bullpen in the major leagues by bullpen ERA. So great stuff there. The offense is a concern. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr. hitting the cover off the ball, batting .323. He's also got an on-base percentage of nearly 400 and is slugging a .525 mark. So that's all nice, but over the course of the year, they're 23rd in the majors in runs scored. So this team does struggle to get on the board, but looking at the numbers here, the Red Sox are plus 110. The Royals are minus 130. We've got a total of 8.5. Boston, 9-11 on the road, a 500 over-under team on the road. Kansas City, 16-5 at home. 14-7 to the under at home. I'm not interested in under 8.5, but I'll definitely take the Royals here at minus 130. It's a little bit steep, so maybe not a play that's going to end up in the pin comment, but it's definitely got a chance here. I like Lugo an awful lot more than I like Giolito. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing our dog of the day yesterday on the Cincinnati Reds. That was a nice one. They put up 10 runs in the first inning, ended up being a 13-9 win, so it got a little hairy down the stretch, but we'll definitely take it. The Reds at 20-21 on the year, handing the ball to Chase Petty, who is 0-1 with a 34.71 ERA. Bro got demolished by the Cardinals, only lasted 2 1/3 innings, gave up 9 earned runs. So his second start needs to be better than his first start. He is only 22 years old. I'm expecting the nerves to be a little bit more under control in this one and for him to pitch a little bit better against, not exactly the best offense out there. The Reds' bullpen's been decent, easily in the top third of the majors, so got to give him credit for that. And while the offense hasn't always been great, they were great yesterday, so we'll see if they can be great again today, but not an offense that I'm necessarily terrified of on a daily basis. Now, they're taking on a Houston Astros team that's 19-19 on the year. They come into this game fresh off of obviously that loss, so we'll see. McCullers is saying his family was threatened because of the loss or something like that. I'm kind of assuming that happens on a daily basis in the major leagues, but yeah, don't get into professional athletes. Don't try to talk to them and threaten them because they played bad. Like, I promise they want to play better a lot worse than you want them to play better. So we'll see what the Astros can do in this one. They're hitting the ball to Ronald Blanco in this game, who's 2-3, a 4.98 ERA, not off to nearly the kind of start he got off to a year ago. Gave up 7 hits and 3 earned runs over 6 innings and a 5-1 loss there at Milwaukee his last time out. So not exactly coming into this game riding high. The bullpen for Houston's been excellent this year. That's not the problem. The problem has been their lack of offense. They're 21st in the majors in runs scored. They are 22nd in the majors in slugging percentage. Like, this is just not a good offensive team for some reason. And Altuve's dealing with a hamstring issue now, so he probably won't even play in this game. So looking at the numbers here, the Reds are plus 130. The Astros are minus 148. We've got a total of 8.5. Cincinnati 10-11 on the road, 12-9 to the under on the road. Houston 12-7 at home, 11-8 to the under at home. I think under 8.5 is the way you want to go in this game. I think we're going to see Petty be much better in this game. I don't think we're seeing Blanco implode here against the Reds. Now, this is not an amazing pick necessarily. Obviously, Altuve being out helps a little bit and makes me want to shade towards the Reds, but I'm not about to be backing Chase Petty until I see that he can actually get out batters here at a major league level. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Miami Marlins. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Chicago White Sox. The Marlins bounced back after a Game 1 loss to get the 3-1 win there in Game 2, but it took them until the 8th inning, and he took a 2-run triple there from Wagaman. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff there for the Marlins. Obviously, they're not a great team. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara, who's 2-4 on the year, an 8.42 ERA. He's had some good outings, but not recently. Over his last 5 starts, he's given up at least 4 earned runs in all of them, averaging giving up 1 home run per game. He's faced the Dodgers twice over that span. That's pretty brutal, so obviously going up against the Marlins should be a little bit of a let-off for him, but this is a guy that's also struggled against teams like Washington this year. So we'll see what he can do, see what the bullpen can do there for the Marlins. Obviously not a good bullpen. Bottom 4 in the majors, a 5.13 bullpen ERA. And the offense is cooling off kind of predictably. I mean, they've scored 3, 2, and 1 runs over their last few games. They're still 17th in the majors in runs scored, but 19th in slugging percentage and 18th in on-base percentage. Kind of tells me this offense not exactly going to be on fire over the course of the year. So we'll see what they can do here against the White Sox, who are 11-29 on the year. They just lost there in Game 2. They're going to be hitting the ball to Sean Burke, who's 2-4 on the year, a 4.35 ERA. He's coming off a couple of excellent starts. A very good start at home there against the Brewers. 6 innings, 2 hits allowed, no runs allowed. And then against the Royals, his last time out, that was at Kansas City. Not the easiest place to pitch. 6 1/3 innings, 4 hits, only a single run allowed. That was a 4-3 loss there for the White Sox, but obviously not Burke's fault. The bullpen for the White Sox, while better than last season, still not great. Bottom 10 in the majors, bottom 9, something like that. A 4.71 bullpen ERA. And the offense, while it's significantly better than last year, 27th in the majors in runs scored and last in the majors in batting average, doesn't exactly fill me with tons of optimism. So, looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Marlins at -135, the White Sox at +115. We've got totals out there of 8 or 8.5. Miami only 4-11 on the road. They're 12-3 to the over on the road. That's an MLB best mark to the over when away from home. The White Sox are 8-11 at home. They are 11-7-2 to the over at home. I'm not going to mess around with the side too much in this one, guys, but I'll definitely take over 8. I can't believe there's still 8s out there in this game. So, yeah, definitely give me over 8 in this one. I think we'll see plenty of offense out there. We've got 2 terrible bullpens. We got 2 very mediocre starters. I know neither offense is great, but I think we're going to see them get on the board. Next up, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Giants have lost both of the first 2 games of the series. They're at Minnesota, losing 2-1 and 3-1 respectively. They're hoping that Landon Roop can get them back on track, but he's 2-3 this year, a 4.89 ERA. His last time out, a decent start at Wrigley Field, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them were earned. So, yeah, not exactly amazing, and we do see the Giants take the 9-2 loss as this team continues to kind of cool off a little bit. So, we'll see what he can do here against the Twins. The bullpen situation for San Francisco this year has obviously been great. They're currently number 1 in the majors with a 2.42 bullpen ERA, so it doesn't get much better than that. The offense, though, is slumping. They've scored 1, and 3 runs over their last 3 games. That's not great, guys. They're down to 10th in the majors in runs scored, and they are 24th in the majors in batting average and 22nd in on-base percentage. Both huge indicators that this offense not nearly as good as it was looking in the early going. So we'll see what they do here against the Twins, who are up to 500 on the year after winning, what is it up to now, 7 in a row. Very good stuff. They're hitting the ball to Pablo Lopez in this game, who's 3-2 on the year, a 2.18 ERA. He's been a big part of their success, especially over his last 5 starts, never giving up more than 2 earned runs. We see the Twins are only 3-2 over that span, but should have been even better. To be honest, he's been throwing the ball extremely well here, even against some pretty decent teams. So we'll see what he can do here against the Giants. The Twins bullpen, no slouches out there. A 3.30 bullpen ERA is 8th best in the MLB. And the offense, while it hasn't been amazing, it's starting to get a little bit better. I mean, they scored 2, 3, 5, and 9 runs over their last few games. They're up to 19th in the majors in runs scored. So a lot of solid stuff to look at there. The Twins, unfortunately for the price tag on this game, are -150. We've got totals of 8 or 8.5. San Francisco's +125. The Giants are 12-10 on the road, 15-7-1 to the over on the road. Minnesota 14-6 at home, 13-6-1 to the under at home. I'm probably not going to be taking the under in this game. The total doesn't really get me going. Minnesota being -150 is a bit expensive. I would say it's got a chance to end up in the pin comment, but that price tag, we would hope that we could find some better value on the board. Absolutely cruising along through these games, guys. We've got the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Padres came through for us as our lock of the day yesterday at -200 to get the 21-0 win in Game 2 of this series. So pretty wild stuff there from the Padres. They're going to be hitting the ball to Nick Pivetta, who's 5-1 this season, a 2.01 ERA. His last start was against the Yankees. He was pretty good. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed in a 4-3 win there for the Padres. And the Padres are 5-0 over his last 5 starts. The last time he went against the Rockies was back on the 11th of this month. He went 7 innings, struck out 10, walked 1, gave up 3 hits and no runs in an 8-0 win there for the Padres. So a lot of reason to back the Padres here. Obviously, their bullpen's been elite. Their offense has been fantastic, no question there. I mean, they've scored 34 runs over their last 2 games against the Rockies. Like, that is cartoonishly good. So we'll see what they do here against these Rockies, who are a disaster. 6-33 on the year. Hitting the ball in this game to German Marquez, who's 0-6 this year, a 9.90 ERA. His last time out was at the Giants, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, and a 9-3 loss. The last time he faced the Padres, it was back on the 11th, so these two have already matched up against each other before. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them were earned in an 8-0 loss. So, guys, I don't think there's a lot of reason to be looking at taking the Rockies. The Padres are minus 250. The Rockies are plus 205. We've got a total of 11.5. San Diego's 10-9 on the road, 10-9 to the under on the road. Colorado's 4-15 at home, and they're a 500 over-under team. Give me the Padres here at minus 250, and if we're sticking to the letter of the law on the lock of the day, this one has to be given major consideration. Do you guys really think the Padres are going to find a way to lose here to the Rockies? Like, they may not even take this game seriously, and they're still going to score 10 runs in this game. So I guess you could take the over as well, but my main lean in this one's going to be the Padres at minus 250, and it should probably be the lock of the day. Rolling right along here, guys, we got the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Angels. The Orioles, 14-23 on the year, straight up not having a good time. Looks like they're about to lose to the Angels in this one. They're down 5-1 in the middle of the 7th inning there against the Angels. So not looking great for game 2 of this series. We'll see what goes on in game 3, where the Orioles are going to hand the ball to Zach Eflin, who is 2-1 this year, a 3.00 ERA. Now, he's coming off of that lat injury. It seems like he's going to start this game. That's what the reports are saying. His last time out, he was very good at Arizona. He's had some bumps in the road this season, but obviously health has been a big problem. So we'll see if he's healthy, see if he's good to go, and he's going to need to go deep into the game to save this team from the bullpen, because that Baltimore bullpen, a 5.29 ERA, pretty terrifying stuff there. And the offense, not nearly as good as last season. I mean, Gunnar Henderson putting up a home run here recently, that's cool, but not an offense that you need to be scared of. They are 25th in the majors in runs scored. They are 26th in on base percentage. Like, just not a good offense at all. So we'll see what they do here against the Angels. Apparently Trout is progressing. He's going to be back soon, but this team's only 15-22 on the year. Not looking great. They're handing the ball to Tyler Anderson, who once again looking like he's going to have a very solid year. 2-0, a 2.68 ERA. His last time out was against Toronto. 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. An 8-3 win there for the Angels, and the Angels are 4-1 over his last 5 starts. So yeah, a lot of positives out there for Tyler Anderson. The Angels bullpen, on the other hand, no positives. A 6.99 bullpen ERA is second worst in the MLB, and the offense also not looking very good. 26 in the majors and runs scored, dead last in on base percentage. So not a ton of good things for me to say right now about the Angels. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Orioles are minus 135. The Angels are plus 114. We've got a total of 9. Baltimore only 6-14 on the road. 13-6-1 to the under on the road. The Angels are 8-9 at home, 9-7-1 to the over at home. I think this is a great game to take under 9. I don't think we're going to see tons of offense from the Angels pretty much ever. I think we're going to see a very good start from Tyler Anderson. I don't think we're going to see tons of offense there from Baltimore unless it comes against the Angels bullpen. And Zach Eflin should be fine against a pretty bad Angels, pitching staff in general, or a batting order in general. So yeah, definitely give me the under 9 in this game. Next up, guys, as we just power through these games, we've got the LA Dodgers going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Dodgers come into this game 26-14 on the year, but they've lost 2 out of 3 so far in this series. They're going to need this win just to eke out a 2-2 series. They're going to be hitting the ball to Tony Gonsolin. He comes in this game 1-0, a 4.09 ERA. He's only made 2 starts this year. Both of them were against the Marlins, which are a pretty bad team. He's gave up 3 and 2 earned runs respectively. One game was an extra inning loss. One game was a win there for the Dodgers. So not a starting pitcher that I'm super high on necessarily. Now, the bullpen for the Dodgers has looked okay this year. A 3.70 bullpen ERA does not put them among the elite teams in the majors, though. And offensively, starting to be some reason for concern. I mean, Hernandez going down certainly doesn't help. They're coming off a 3-0 loss, so they scored 0 runs. Obviously, I expect them to bounce back in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, 0, 11, 3, 10, and 4 runs over their last few. Not what the doctor ordered here for the Dodgers, who are still the second highest run scoring team in the majors and the top batting average team. So let's not freak out too much here. They're going to be taking on the Diamondbacks, who come into this game 21-19, probably pretty happy to win 2 out of the first 3 in this series. They're giving the ball to Zach Gallen, who's 3-4 this year, a 4.37 ERA. He's coming off back-to-back excellent starts, though, at the Mets and then at home against the Mets. He pitched a total of 13 innings over those 2 starts, gave up a total of 4 hits and a total of 2 earned runs. Both of those games were wins for the Diamondbacks. So getting some pretty good feelings there about Zach Gallen. Now, the bullpen situation there for the Diamondbacks, not good. A 4.88 bullpen ERA is bad. but they're obviously coming off a pretty good night, so we'll see if they can continue that. The offense scoring only 3 runs doesn't look great, but over the course of the year, they're the 5th highest scoring offense in the majors. They are the 7th highest on base percentage team. This is a definitely scary, probably top 4 or 5 offense in the majors. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Dodgers are minus 104. The Diamondbacks are minus 112. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Dodgers are 9-10 on the road, 10-9 to the over on the road. The Diamondbacks 10-11 at home, 10-8-3 to the under at home. I think this is a very reasonable spot to take the Diamondbacks here at minus 112 with Zach Gallen on the mound. Now, is he capable of some implosions? Certainly. And going up against the Dodgers, that can definitely happen. But Gonsolin isn't very good at all, it doesn't look like to me. So definitely give me the Diamondbacks here at minus 112. Rounding into the home stretch here in the MLB slate, before we hop over to that NBA slate, guys, we got the Toronto Blue Jays going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. Now, these two are still playing right now with the Blue Jays up 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. They've been playing a little bit better recently. They're 18-20. They're hitting the ball to Jose Urrea. He comes into this game. I mean, normally a bullpen guy. This is going to be his second outing of the year and his third outing of the year, his second with the Blue Jays, and he's normally a bullpen guy. So looking like it's going to be maybe not a full bullpen start. I mean, his last time out, he went 4 1/3 innings against the Angels. They did not go great. So we'll see what he does. We could see a good, healthy chunk there of that Toronto bullpen, which, I mean, not dominant. A 4.13 bullpen ERA doesn't get me super hyped. The offense is looking a little bit better recently for Toronto. I mean, 6 and 8 runs over their last few games is nice. Can they keep that up? Seems like a little bit of a big ask for a team that's the 25th highest slugging percentage and 23rd highest scoring team in the majors. So we'll see what they can do here against the Mariners, who are 22-15 on the year. Going to need to mount a comeback to avoid being 22-16. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Bryce Miller, who's 2-3 on the year, a 4.15 ERA. He's fresh off a pretty bad start there at the Sacramento Athletics, where he gave up 4 earned runs on 7 hits, including a home run, over only 4 innings of work in what was eventually a 7-6 extra inning loss there for the Mariners. So he needs to be a little bit better. The Mariners bullpen could be a little bit better, but a 3.43 bullpen ERA, definitely not the problem here. This offense has been fantastic, especially compared to what they were doing last year. I mean, this is the 7th highest scoring team in the majors and the 2nd highest on-base percentage team. This squad can get some runs across the plate. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the Blue Jays are plus 138. The Mariners are minus 160. We've got a total of 8 or 8.5 out there. Toronto only 7-12 on the road. 11-7-1 to the under on the road. Seattle 12-7 at home. 10-7-2 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total here, but I'll definitely take Seattle to. Looks like it's going to be a bounce back spot. I'll take Seattle here at minus 160. I think they get the win very comfortably against the Toronto basically bullpen start. And yeah, Bryce Miller on the mound, I think he's in for a pretty good day. Now, guys, looking at the Sunday night baseball matchup between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians. The Phillies come into this game, guys, fresh off a 7-1 win. Harper having a home run and 3 hits, and Suarez having a huge game out there. Definitely big pluses there for the Phillies franchise in general. They're 23-16 on the year, hitting the ball to Zach Wheeler in this game, who had some bumps in the road to start things off, but it's 3-1 on the year, a 3.35 ERA. He hasn't given up more or less than 2 earned runs over any of his last 4 starts, so seems like he's figuring things out. The Phillies bullpen, on the other hand, I mean, still in the bottom third of the majors, a 4.73 bullpen ERA, something that's going to need to be addressed if this team really wants to compete for a World Series. The offense putting up a 7 spot, and yeah, it's been pretty good this season. 7-0, 7, and 8 runs scored over their last 5 games. Not a lot to complain about there. Trey Turner hitting the cover off the ball. Kyle Schwarber with 12 home runs. Like, this offense can get it done. They're the 4th highest on-base percentage team. They're the 6th highest batting average team. Like, this is a pretty real offense, guys. I would say this is a pretty good, pretty scary offense. So we'll see what they can do here against the Cleveland Guardians, who are 23-16 to start the year. Their loss there in Game 2 snapped a 3-game winning streak. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Luis Ortiz, who's 2-3 on the year, a 5.30 ERA. Now, his last start, he got knocked around very aggressively there by the Washington Nationals in a game we eventually saw the Cleveland Guardians lose 10-9. But he's had good starts mixed in there. Just a little bit tough to figure out what you're going to get from this guy on a day-to-day basis. In a huge spot pitching on Sunday Night Baseball, what are we going to get? I think we're just going to have to wait and see, guys. It's a little bit tough to tell. Now, the bullpen situation for Cleveland, not nearly as good as last year, a 4.04 bullpen ERA. And while the offense looked a lot better there in their series against the Nationals, In this series against the Phillies, we'll see what they can do. I mean, Steven Kwan's been good. Manzardo's been good over the course of the year. Jose Ramirez is starting to hit the ball a little bit better, but they're still only 21st in the majors in batting average and 16th in runs scored. So not the scariest offense out there in the world. Now, the Phillies come into the game at minus 170 because of Zach Wheeler being on the mound. The Guardians are plus 138. We've got a total of 7.5. The Phillies are a 500 road team. They're 12-7-1 to the under on the road. Cleveland 12-6 at home and 10-7-1 to the under at home. I don't hate under 7.5 in this game. I think that could be pretty reasonable. And since I think it's going to be a low-scoring, relatively competitive game, I'll give a little bit of an edge here to the Guardians, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is not a game that I see a ton of value on. Now, guys, changing gears here a little bit, we're going to hop over and look at both games on the NBA playoff slate. And we've got a couple of exciting ones. We've got the Oklahoma City Thunder going on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets, with Denver now leading the series 2-1 after that 113-104 win there in Game 3. The Thunder come into this game probably pretty disheartened with the way things went there in Game 2. They're fully healthy. That probably doesn't make them feel too much better about losing. Jalen Williams had probably his best playoff game ever, I would guess. 32 points, 11 of 21 from the field in his 43 minutes, but it was not enough. SGA, that SGA under, for anybody that took that, cashed easily. He was 7 of 22 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3 for 18 points. The bench didn't look particularly good there for the Thunder. They only shot 25% from 3. They did a good job on the boards, but none of it was enough there down the stretch, eventually losing that game in overtime to the Nuggets, thanks in a huge part to Aaron Gordon hitting another huge clutch 3. So we'll see what the Thunder can get done in this one. The Nuggets obviously have to be stoked with what's going on right now. They come into this game fully healthy, and they got that huge win in Game 3. I mean, they just contributions from everyone. Jamal Murray played great. Very good stuff there from Jokic, although his shooting was a little bit erratic. 21 points there from Michael Porter Jr., which bro is playing with a very messed up shoulder, so that's impressive. And 22 there from Aaron Gordon. Not a ton coming off the bench. I mean, 8 from Westbrook and 7 from Peyton Watson, but they gave him some very valuable minutes. And as a team, Denver shot 40% from 3. So you can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Now, looking at the numbers of this game, the Nuggets are getting 6.5 points at home. We've got a total of 227.5. The Thunder, 25-16-2 against the spread on the road, 48-40-2 to the over. Denver, 21-24-1 against spread at home, 54-38 to the over. I'll shade maybe towards the over in this game, but not really. I think I would rather take the under or just avoid the total here overall, but I think we have to be on the Nuggets here, getting 6.5 points. They're just too good of a team. Their size clearly bothers Oklahoma City. Jokic can have a much better game than he had there in Game 3. Obviously, so can SGA, but that's starting to look a little bit tougher, especially when you're playing on the road at altitude against this very cagey, very, very good veteran squad there for the Denver Nuggets. So definitely like Denver here. It's plus 6.5. I also have some player props I like in this game. And first up, probably not going to shock you guys, I'll be taking the under on SGA's points, under 32.5. He struggled out there in Game 3 as playing in Denver clearly affected his shot and just his scoring in general, and he only got to the line 5 times. I think we'll see him have a better game in Game 4, but getting to 33 points, I don't think that's going to happen. I also like Aaron Gordon out there to get over 6.5 boards. He had 8 boards in Game 3. I think even his size matters enough to bother the Thunder, so I expect him to comfortably have a solid game on the glass in this one, and getting to 7 rebounds for him is not going to be too tough. Last but not least here, guys, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the Indiana Pacers. We saw the Cavaliers try and get back in this series, winning Game 3, 126-104. It was a game that was competitive kind of until the second quarter, where Cleveland opened up a pretty big lead. Now, in that game, we saw Donovan Mitchell have another monster performance, putting up 43 points, 10 of 14 from the free throw line, and we saw Mobley and Garland both come back. Now, Garland played pretty terrible in this game, only 10 points, but despite a terrible shooting night, it was still a plus 10 out there, and we loved what we saw from Mobley, Jarrett Allen, like a lot of positives out there for the Cavaliers going on the road here and looking good. Now, the bench continues to struggle. Something I thought was going to be a huge strength for them has not really been that much of a strength. Ty Jerome costing himself so much money here by struggling in the playoffs right now. We'll see if he can bounce back. DeAndre Hunter clearly seems a bit bothered by that ankle injury, but overall, I liked what I saw from the Cavaliers, and they come into this game fully healthy. Now, the Pacers also come into this game fully healthy. They struggled in general there in Game 3. I mean, maybe just too many emotions coming back home. It's tough to tell. Halliburton only 4 points in the game. That's not a great look. 15 there from Miles Turner, 18 from Siakam, but 23 points from Mathurin is really the only positive in this game. They shot 30% from 3, which wasn't terrible, but all of a sudden, it looked like the Cavaliers very much back in the series now that they are healthy. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the Pacers are getting 5.5 points at home. We've got a total of 231 out there. The Cavaliers 29-15 against the spread on the road. That's an NBA best against the spread mark on the road. They're 56-33 to the over, but I'm still probably not taking over 231 here. Indiana 19-23-1 against the spread at home, 48-40-2 to the over. Still not going to take over, but I will take the Cavaliers here at -5.5 to tie this series up at 2 games apiece. I just think Garland is pretty much unguardable, or not Garland. Donovan Mitchell is pretty much unguardable. Garland is going to continue to play better here as he rounds into form, and Mobley and Jarrett Allen just make this team really tough to handle there, especially on the glass. So give me the Cavaliers shooting the win and cover. I also have a couple props I like for this game, and first up, Donovan Mitchell, guys, over 29.5 points. He scored 43, 48, and 33 points so far in the series. I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. He hasn't even had a great shooting night yet. It looks like no one on Indiana can guard him at all, and the Pacers want to play a high pace, which results in more offense overall. So definitely like his over on points, and I also like Jarrett Allen's over on rebounds, over 10.5. Despite Mobley coming back, he had 12 boards in Game 3. I don't think that is going to fall off here a lot in what has to still be a desperation game for the Cavaliers. So I think we'll see Allen comfortably get to 11 boards in this game, and this being an up-pace kind of series definitely doesn't hurt that situation either. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Shout out to all the moms out there on Mother's Day. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate or about anything you see here. I answer every single comment pretty much every day, but maybe not on Mother's Day. We'll see how that goes. Get over to stumpthespread.com right away, guys. Click the link in the description. It'll take you straight over there. Sign up for that free email list. All they need is your name and your email address. You'll be on that email list, and you will be good to go, getting free information straight to your inbox every single day. And we will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.